Do you feel like you're alone sometimes? Well, today I'm going to talk about some tips you can do so you can enjoy your own company more and so you don't feel so alone. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point for you then as well. Now, for me, I've had many years where I've actually been around people, yet I felt quite alone. And I realized that was because I didn't have a good relationship with myself. I also found from going for a Tony Robbins event a few years back, well, end of 2020, that actually one of the things I run away from is loneliness because that's something that's deep inside of me. And I realized I traced it back to childhood when, as a kid, I'd got lost and I just felt alone. I felt lost. And those feelings that we get as kids can stay with us. So loneliness or feeling alone has been something that's been in my life. Now, I live by myself now, and I've got a load of great people in my life, and it's not something I struggle with so much. I did, however, want to talk about this because in today's world, we live in a social media era. There's more ways of attach it or kind of not attaching the wrong word of connecting with people than ever, right? However, I constantly hear feedback of people feeling alone. And that's because we're using devices. We're not having real conversations. We're not present when we're actually with people. I've been there. I've been guilty of that many times. Think of maybe you've been guilty of that you're with a bunch of people, but you're on your phone, right? And people think they've got a real connection when they're like texting, but that's not a real connection. That's not a real conversation. So the problem is we start to actually not give ourselves that connection, whether it's from other people or ourselves, and we start to feel a bit more alone. So ask yourself, how's it helping you by doing the same things again and again and maybe feeling a little bit alone? Because if you're anything like me, it can be not a good feeling. I was going to say alone, but I've used that word too many times. There we go, done it again. So let's go into a little bit of, some ideas for how you can move through this. And this is what I've used. The first one is probably the key one. That's why I'm starting with it. Build a relationship with yourself every day. Do some, and what I mean by that is do some inner child work. So there's lots of exercise you can do on that. And if you want more guidance on this, Google it. There's lots of resources. But basically, the inner child is when you're talking to like a 3, 4, 5-year-old version of yourself. And what you're going to do is just talk to that person like you're talking to your own kid. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't. I don't have any kids, but imagine you're talking to the 3, 4, 5-year-old version of you. Give them compassion, give them some love. I've been doing a lot of somatic work, which is really diving into your nervous system and your bodily feelings and connecting yourself on a deeper level. And in that, we do a lot of inner child work. And what that does is it allows you to connect with a deeper level with you. So even if it's 5 minutes a day, just spend some time talking to yourself as if you're a kid and tell yourself you love you and listen to what you need. The second thing that's really effective for not feeling alone is actually journaling, I found. When you're having a conversation with yourself, it makes a massive difference. If you can have a conversation with yourself, you're not going to feel as alone. Problem is, I know certainly for me, and this is what I studied and observed, that many of us don't actually know what we want or take that time because we get so busy. However, if you can find some time to journal, to write down some of your thoughts and communicate with yourself, that's going to build a better relationship with yourself and you're going to feel like you're acknowledging you. And that's going to reduce you feeling alone as well. And then the third one, surround yourself with good quality people who make you feel good. If you're in a group of people who make you feel bad or perhaps don't hear you on a deeper level, you're always going to feel alone. So therefore, start surrounding yourself with better people, whether that's online or offline. And if you want to find those kind of people, go to personal growth events. There's lots of supporting, loving people there. Or go find an interest on something like Meetup that you like doing, and then you'll find people with interest there. So my bonus point. What is my bonus point for you now? Okay, I want you to try this. Practice sitting in silence. Okay, practice sitting in silence with yourself every single day and see what comes up. Right, because by doing that, and it links to the journaling a little bit, but by doing that, most of us avoid that. Doing that's going to create a deeper level of awareness for actually what we need. And when we give ourselves what we need, we're going to be more connected and therefore feel less alone. So just, again, this is a bonus one. Sit with yourself for 10 minutes a day in silence. Just see what comes up. Okay, so that's what I got for you on my tips on how to reduce feeling alone. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.